Hello, and thanks for joining in on another playthrough of Commands and Colors Ancients. We are following Alexander the Great, and we have reached the year 328 BC, where we find Alexander and his army very deep into the eastern territories of Asia. We are at a place called Jaxartes River, where Alexander were building a city. He had taken control a lot on, I think, most of the eastern satrapies here in Persia by this time. He was building this city called Alexandria in the banks of Jaxartes, and this is actually located pretty far up north. I think it's in today's southern parts of Uzbekistan. The river has another name today. I don't remember what it's called today, but it's still there. And that was the borderlands of the Scythians. So we are seeing Alexander taking on the Scythians in this battle. And Scythians, who were, well, we could call them a barbaric nomad people, right? So, and they also fought in that style. These horseback archers and skirmishers here, always quick to evade from heavier troops and come back harassing. That was their style of fighting, and many heavier armies, if you can call it that, had problems with them at these times. They never caught up with them, and difficult to beat them, to put it simple. But here's an example when Alexander takes on these guys, because he wanted to secure his northern borders more or less, so because he had some more stuff to do down south. But he needed to secure this flank, or otherwise he would be harassed all the time by the Scythians up there, which also would cause problems with building this new city. So he thought, okay, we need to deal with these guys and show them that we can and we dare fight them. So he sent up this army up here, and the Scythians were nearby to that city, controlling it. They were, as I understand, planning a big raid southwards. So Alexander, I mean, this was pretty another example of how brilliant this man was, and the planning they did, the Macedonians here, and the discipline. I mean, he of course knew that the Scythian would be hard to beat, because they will just evade if they were attacked. So, and the problem was the river, of course. He needed to cross that with his big army to reach the Scythians. And to do that, first of all, he thought, okay, we cannot go over in few narrow points, because then we will be shot to death as the troops arrived in a column over the river. So we need to, in some way, do it en masse, right? So a lot of troops crossing at the same time, so the Scythians have problem to engage them all. So at least some of the units will get over unharmed and can engage the Scythians in close range combat. So how could he achieve this? Well, the plan he did was to use artillery to support his traverse over the river, and this was successful. This is heavy artillery, so these are actually catapults, so really heavy artillery for the time, and that was successful. He managed to hit many of the horse archers on this side and scare them away. So they started actually to retreat back here a bit, because they were basically under heavy fire from the Macedonian artillery. And that gave the Macedonians a nice opportunity to get over the river, which they did, of course. And then Alexander and the Macedonians were ready to launch the next step of this very interesting plan. So what he did was to more or less sacrifice some troops. He put out some cavalry, probably some infantry as well, sent them towards the new line of Scythians. I think they were deployed a bit further back here. So he sent forward a really weak detachment against the Scythians, basically to lure them to attack. And so they did. The Scythians took the bait and they surrounded these cavalry who marched towards them and started to attack them in their usual way here. So they surrounded them, attacked them with bow fire and so forth. At that point, the Macedonians sent over their lighter troops, light cavalry, to actually go around the flanks of some of the Scythians surrounding the Macedonian cavalry here. And by that, they trapped the Scythians who were closest to the Macedonian lines. So they got surrounded themselves there and could not retreat. They tried to retreat to the sides, but there were other Macedonians coming, so they didn't have a way out from that sack. And of course, by the time Macedonian heavy infantry, we have some phalanxes here, we have some auxiliary troops, they marched forward and started to engage the Scythians, who were starting to amount big casualties here. Also on the flanks here, the Macedonians drew up some you see slingers, and we have also light bow unit here. This is actually Cretan archers. So good quality missile troops over, and so they could engage also the other Scythians here that were not surrounded. So basically they could keep the Scythians busy everywhere. And this of course had a big impact on the Scythians. Also their warlord here, Jaxartes, he fell in the battle here. I think he was included in those guys who were surrounded by the Macedonians. So he fell, and basically I think that was the end of it. They broke and fled the field. And by that, I think what happened actually in the big picture was that Alexander got the respect of the Scythians, who promised not to attack and harass the northern frontiers anymore. So that's what we have as a brief history of this battle. So, and also of course most of the Scythians got away from this battle. I mean, there was not the slaughter of these guys, but I think several thousand were killed actually of the Scythians here. And I think it's also fair to say that a good many Macedonians also fell in this battle. Probably most of them from that. We could maybe call them a forlorn hope continent here, who went forward first and got surrounded by the Scythians. I mean, they must have taken enormous missile fire on them, waiting for the relief force to arrive. So, yeah, I think there were heavy casualties basically on both sides, but it had a bigger impact on the Scythians, especially when also Jaxartes was killed. So, let's move on to the game itself then. So, what do we see here in the War Council? Well, we see that the Macedonians will move first, of course, and we see that the Macedonians will receive 6 cards, and this is not my Solitaire system anymore, right? And we see that the Scythian army will have 5 cards in their hand. And it's of course Alexander who's leading the Macedonians here, and we have Jaxartes on the Scythian side. We fight till we get 5 banners on one side, and it feels it's a bit of a quicker battle, right? But on the other hand, these guys can evade everything. Well, there's one unit that cannot evade everything if they would be attacked by light cavalry, but because they have one medium heavy here. The others are just lights or light bow, so they will just run around putting in some missile fire, I guess, and well, could be a hard to get them actually. But anyway, I think this could be a fairly quick story. Anyway, special rules. The Jaxartes river is fordable, and we have the Alexander rule. You know, if he's attached to a unit, he gives that unit 1 additional die in combat, close combat. And then we have the companion cavalry rule. We have seen that before as well. They ignore 1 sword symbol and they ignore 1 flag. Well, it doesn't say who is the companion cavalry here, and actually we have 2 medium heavy cavalries on the Macedonian side, but it's pretty obvious that it is the unit attached with Alexander. I'm pretty sure of that. So we're gonna play that this guy is the companion cavalry. And well, I also thought we could take a quick look on the unit chart here, because we are seeing a new type of unit. We have these heavy catapults here, and the stats for those units are as follows. They're counted as heavy. They move 1 hex. They have a fire range of 6, which is pretty impressive. If they hold, they will range battle with 2 dice, and if they move, they cannot battle. A close combat, they give 2 dice in attack, and what's this note 1? I'm not sure, but it says note 1 on the whole column here, so I don't think there's any special here. They don't hit with swords, and they actually can evade, and that means basically they don't retreat the 2 hexes when they do evade, but they are removed from the battlefield if they evade. But I don't think the Scythians will get a banner for that. So that's basically it. Yeah, and they retreat 1 hex. So most important is to remember is 2 dice in both ranged and close combat, and the range is actually 6 hexes. So that's enormous. So let's check out the forces here. If we start with the Scythians here and their left flank, we are seeing some light cavalry over there. And then we have some light bow cavalry, more light bow cavalry. Then we move to the center section. Then we have some light cavalry flanking the leader here, and he's attached to medium heavy cavalry, as said before. So no bows here in the center. And the right hand side is basically a mirror of the left flank, lights out there, and then we have 2 bow units, mounted bows. So not a big army, and pretty much everything is light except these noble horsemen here, I guess, of the warlords. And well, and not many, and 9 units all in all. That's interesting, and I mean, even if it's a difficult situation for the Macedonians, it's really a difficult situation for the Scythians as well. What on earth should they do here? I mean, of course they can just skirmish away and hope for good rolls. Try to get away and fire and concentrate their fire, I guess, so they can get some banners by that, because we will not see much close combat with these guys. Maybe if we get them, mounted charge or something, when they can gain 1 extra die or something, then it could be worth to do some counterattacks perhaps. I don't know. Okay, let's check out the Macedonians. So we start from the right. We have some light cavalry over there. Then we have the companion cavalry together with this handsome man, of course. And then we have some slingers up front in range here. Then we have the first artillery unit back there. Some auxiliaries. Then we have the heavy phalanxes ordered by Craterus. I think that guy is Craterus. And then we have auxilia, more artillery, some bow units. By the way, we had a light infantry also in front here. The Cretan archers, and then we have 2 units of cavalry, 1 light and 1 medium heavy, so I think probably some Thessalian cavalry there. So that's it. So as you can see, we have, first of all, we have a numerical overweight here on the Macedonian side, and also heavier troops, more everything, more leaders. So these guys are in a difficult situation here, but on the other hand, those guys need to go over the river, and these guys, well, I mean, the best card for these guys is to get Dark in the Skies. That would be really awesome, right? They can just fire and fire and fire when they the blue guys are crossing the river here. All right, but yeah, so what the plan for the Macedonians then? Well, of course, just march forward, try to get over the river, try to corner these guys. I mean, they will evade and all the time, but you know, they need to evade always towards their own end. So if we can corner them and cut off their paths here, then, well, we could get a few of them. And of course, 5 banners, it means we need to kill more than half of the Scythian army as the Macedonian to win this game. So it's not an easy task, actually. So by that, it could also take some while to get to that 5 banner count, just because of their style of fighting here. But let's see what happens. By that, we are ready to start the game, and we start with Alexander. So here we have Alexander's initial hand. We have a line command. We have an order mounted. Interesting. We have 4 units right. That's Alexander's flank. We have a move, fire, move. Okay, that's only light units. We cannot fire with artillery with this card. Then we have leadership any section, and we have another 3 units on Alexander's flank. So we have support all the way here on Alexander's flank. And well, this is interesting. If I would play a line command, would that include the artillery? Are they counted as foot units? I'm not really sure. Group of foot units. They are not mounted, that's for sure. Let's see if it says here. Foot units. Yeah, it's foot units. This column says foot units, and here we find artillery. So those guys could be included in the line command. Actually, that could be something. We could order a big bunch of units already this turn. I mean, we could fire with some units and also start moving some other units. Not bad at all. We could also do the move, fire, move. We could move 1 step forward with some auxiliaries here, fire, and then go on up on the river. We could, you know, move ourselves adjacent to some of the bow units here so they cannot fire. and by that blocking them. So this is also a good thing. A third option would actually be to start moving up Alexander's flank here. Start the crossing on this side, because we have many cards to support several turns. We have 3, we have 4, we could use the leadership any section, and we have a mounted, so we could several turns in a row activate Alexander and his guys here, and that could be something. That could be something. So I have 3 nice options, and I will roll. So it's 1, 2, it's a line command. 3 and 4, I will probably go with the 4 units right, and 5 and 6 we go with the move fire move and do a more general advance with the lighter units first. Let's see what it will be. Okay, we will go with the line command. So I think that's okay, because we can fire with our artillery. So let's see, we have those guys activated all the way here and all the way to the left with the Cretan archers. Not a bad one. So what do we want to do then? The thing here is that if we start moving, we are blocking our line of sight pretty soon, I'm sure of that. And at the same time, I would like to get my heavies on the march here. Let's see. And I can only go 1 hex with line command, right? So I cannot move away too much. But let's do it like this. The slingers will do a sidestep, so they can still fire with 1 die. Now we have an open field here. We move up our auxiliaries here. Then we move up our heavies. Let's do the same thing on this flank, so the Cretan archers will move over here. Then we can move up our auxiliaries. And now we have a nice lane of fire here with our artillery. And we can get our heavies up here as well with Craterus. Pretty nice advance towards the river here. And we got also some fire to do. So let's see where to start. So if we would start on this flank, who would we like to fire against? Let's just pick one of the unsupported bow units here. So we take that one. So the slingers attack those horse archers, and they got in a flag, forcing them to retreat back. So it's going like in history a bit here, right away. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So they retreat. Sorry, there we are, all the way back to the baseline here. Okay. So now we have the lane open to fire against the next one with our artillery. So now comes the heavy artillery support. Let's see what those guys can achieve. Well, they hit some horse archers here. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. We need to wear those guys down, and each block is important here. Here we have the auxilia throwing the javelins over the river towards the horse on the other side. So it's 1 die because we moved, and they hit 2. Very good skirmishing here from the Macedonians. So they're really supporting their advance towards the river with arranged capable troops. And I think I'm going to continue here with that same unit if we can get them, because these guys they did not move, so they will have 2 dice. And this time we missed though. Over here we're going to do basically the same thing as on the other flank, but let's start with the auxilia here. So we're going to fire against those horse archers there. And they move those guys, so it's only 1 die. But we hit. There's a lot of greens coming in here now. So another horse archer down. It's a good start here for the Macedonians, that's for sure. So let's continue with the artillery towards the same units. It's 2 dice. That's a miss though. And let's put in the Cretan archers against the same target. And that's another miss. But all in all, pretty good. And especially here on Alexander's flank, the skirmish was really good. We scared off some bows. We hit another one. And we also got one hit here. And in the center, we got a hit on the light cavalry. So pretty good. Pretty good. So let's grab the Macedonians, another card, and then we are ready to see the Scythians' opening hand. And of course they got the Dark in the Sky here, I see it right away. They got 2 light troops. I mean, this is amazing, an amazing hand. And they have 2 activations in the center as well. But this is an amazing hand to be a Scythian, I guess. So we will counter with the Dark in the Sky, that's for sure, because we have so many troops in range here. So yeah, we will just fire away. So let's see. Let's start here. Those guys cannot retreat, but they are supported, but we're gonna fire against those guys now. It's 2 dice. We got 1 hit and a flag. The flag he ignores, but we got one of the slingers here. So here comes the revenge of the Scythians. Second attack. And another hit. Okay, this could be costly for the Macedonians. Then we have the bow unit. They will... I'm a bit tempted to fire against the artillery, to be honest. Who should we pick? We could force those guys to retreat, but they are still in range, so it doesn't really give me that much of an advantage if they retreat. They have that crazy range of 6 hexes. Now let's continue with slingers. So here comes the first bow attack, and another hit. Can you believe it? Well, I think we can believe it because these are Scythians. They are special forces on these range attacks. And the second attack, and can you believe it? Yet another one. So the slingers actually goes down in this Dark in the Sky attack from both of the units here. So we got the Scythian first victory banner by that. That's a shock for the Macedonians, that's for sure. And here, well, I think we want to... We cannot really... Well, we could concentrate fire on those guys. Maybe we should do that. I was thinking maybe we should start harassing the heavies, but we might do that next time or something. Let's see if we can get these guys to wear down pretty good. So we start here. It's 2 dice. And that's a flag. He can ignore it, but he could also take it if he wants. No, I'm gonna stand firm here with the guys. I'm not too keen of starting with retreats here with Macedonians because I want everything over the river. I will retreat only if I get too weak. So that was the first fire. Here comes the second one. And this time they hit us, or they hit the Macedonians. So that guy is done. These guys don't have any missile fire, but that guy will attack the same unit. Another flag, we ignore that. And the second attack, and a hit. Gosh. I've never seen this effective ranged fire all over. They're hitting everything. So we're ready there, we're ready here. So now we have the right hand side to do as well. And let's start here with throwing some javelins against the Cretans. First attack, a miss. Second attack, another miss. Well, that was not awesome, but still okay. We continue. No, I can actually start hitting those war machines there. So first attack, that's one hit. You know, these are really weak. I mean, if we just can hit the crew good enough, they are pretty much done. Here comes the second attack. We missed that, but we have one bow unit left, so they will target the same unit. I'm hoping to get one red. Yeah, I did get it. So the war machine is done. We got the second Scythian banner, and we still have one fire to do. So let's hit those auxiliaries with that fire. And that's a hit. This is amazing, amazing skirmish fire. Look at the dead pile just from one activation. Granted, it was a dark in the sky or a double fire, but anyway, crazy good rolls here. I think the Scythians are very happy with that result. Okay, Alexander, what can you do now to counter these events? We got another line command coming. We have the order mounted. I think I'm gonna play the line command again, even though I got a break in the line here. That's not good, so I cannot activate my cretans by that, and that sucks. But this sucks a bit, to be honest. I'm thinking either I play the line command or I start with that flank now and get over Alexander, hitting those Scythians over there. So I will roll for it again for Alexander. It's a 1 to 3, 4 to 6. It's a 2, so we go with another line command then. Okay, let's do that. So here we go. And let's see. Let's march up here. We march up here. And we march up here. I'm gonna march up here too. Here we go. So we start with some artillery fire here. We're gonna hit those bow units again. A flag this time, so we force them back 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see. Here we're gonna attack. These guys will try to evade, but I get my 3 dice though. I hit 1. Good. But the last block managed to evade up to the hill here. And everything will just evade. That sucks a bit. Let's pour in some fire against that leader in the center and the medium heavy. So it's 2 dice. And I missed. Okay, then we just attack. So here we're gonna attack those guys who will evade, but this time I will get 5 dice. Yeah, that's 5. And we got 1 hit. So the guys evade, but they took 1 loss during the evasion. Same here, those guys will try to evade. Ah, wait a minute. No, I forgot about the river rule here. Let's see. Let's play this again, because I can only battle with 2 dice out of a river, right? This had another one. I think I need to play this all over again. Sorry about that. I think it's only 2 dice out of a river, and that could even, you know, I'm thinking of not doing the evade with these guys. You can hit back instead. But I'm gonna, just to be 100% sure, I'm gonna check again. I always tend to forget the rules here in between my plays. So I'm gonna check the river rule and be right back. Yes, as I suspected, it was I played this wrong. I was deceived a bit about that. You remember that Issus battle I played last time? Then we had no river penalties there. But this is, of course, Jaxartes river is a normal river, affordable river, so we can only battle out and in with 2 dice here. So we're gonna play this again, and I will leave this result as it was, because that has no impact. That was ranged fire and no rivers included there. So let's continue again from here. And now it's actually a question, should we evade or not? I mean, these guys I think will evade anyway, because they are a bit weakened. So I'm gonna try with those guys. But the auxiliary only get 2 dice now in the attack. So let's see if they manage to hit again or not. No. So these guys got away with full strength, or their 2 blocks that they had left. Over here, well, this is actually a question. Should we stand our ground here? I mean, we will battle back with leader support as well. So that will be 2 dice against 2 dice. Okay, granted, we don't hit with the sword symbols, but I don't know. Should I evade or not? Or should I take that first battle while those guys are on the river? Bit tempted. On the other hand, if I evade... the bad thing is I'm also evading out of range. So next turn I need to move anyway to put in some fire. So hey, I'm gonna stay and battle against those Macedonians. So they can hit me first. Let's see, they got 2 dice. Okay, they forced me back with a hit. That was a bad situation anyway for the Scythians. They took a hit and they need to retreat. So, crap. Good roll by Craterus there. Okay, here we'll now see that attack coming. It's 2 dice. We're looking for blue symbols. No hits. So here we're gonna battle. This time I will for sure not evade. I can stand for 1 flag here. So I'm gonna stay and fight. So the phalanx is on the river fighting out with 2 dice. They hit and got that flag, but this time we can ignore that flag. But we took 1 hit, and of course we're gonna check the leader loss here first, because if he dies we need to take that flag, but he's okay. So now they will battle back with 2 dice, and they missed the phalanx completely. Alright, so the Macedonians are getting pretty good out of this. Okay, here we have another. I think I'm gonna evade again, because I'm already weakened here, so I'm gonna try to evade. But the Auxilia will of course hit anyway. They missed. So we go up on the hill here, and that's the end of the turn. The activation. Give the Macedonians the 6th card, and let's see what the Scythians can do. They had these loads of light units here. Bad thing is we activate this card or play this card, we cannot battle with those guys. They will just stay there, but they can always evade if they get hit next time. I think I need to play a light simply because I need to get back the guys from the baseline here into action. So I'm gonna order light troops, and I can order 5 of them. So let's order the 5 in the baseline. Should we get these lights? Yeah, let's do that. So it's 3. Here we have some archers in range. Let's see, how many do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is 5, so that's it. I'm actually thinking not to activate these guys. They could stay here for a while, and instead we take our opportunity here to fire instead with full strength here. So, what do we want to do here then? Well, let's see if we can force back those guys over the river. We have some unsupported units there, so I'm gonna build my new defense line here. We have moved. We've got 1 and another one here. These guys will just stay here and fire out. I'm sure that there's no penalty in firing from mountain. I hope I'll play that correctly. So let's start from here then. So these bow units will attack that auxilia, and my hope is to actually force those guys back. So a flag. I'm more looking for a flag than a green actually, but that's a miss. Next one, same unit. Oh, it's a hit, but flag would have been better, but I will not complain when I get a hit either way. So that's good enough. What's then? When we have these guys, let's wait with those guys to the last. We start here, it's 2 dice against that Cretan bow unit there. And that's a miss. These bows will attack that auxilia on the river. We want to force those guys back. And I got 2 dice, so it's a fair chance to get the flag. But no, another double leader roll here. That was not too good. So we need to put in that bow fire on the same unit there then. It's 2 dice because they didn't move. And we missed again. So now, I don't know what happened here now, but seems the Scythians are already running out of ammunition. They did that Dark in the Sky, suck their ammunition, right? So it's not an effective of a skirmish this time. So this really gives the Macedonians an opportunity to strike hard now. So that was that. Let's see. So here we go. We have the Macedonians. What was their new card? I don't know, but okay, maybe this one. So it's 3 over here. I would like to press on in the center, since we started that, but we don't have really any center cards. We had the leadership any section, but the bad thing is we can only order 2 units with that. We had a move, fire, move. No, this is not really that awesome. Let's see, maybe we should actually play over here now. We can at least get that guy over the river this time, and the Cretans can fire, and we can get some medium heavy cavalry also. So I'm a bit tempted to play this. The other one would be actually to play order mounted now and get all the mounted on the river. That's not a bad one, because we could attack those 2. We can attack those, and we could get Alexander on the river, and that's not bad at all. On the other hand, it would be nice to play the Order Mounted when we are on the river, because then we can do some cool attacks and force them back towards their baseline here. But we would need the infantry support also, and we would like to get those guys across the river, but we don't have two good cards for that. So I'm seeing two options here. Either we play 3 on the left, which is over there, or we play the mounted now and go forward with our flanks. So it will be 1 to 3, 4 to 6. A lot of rolls for Alexander this time, but it's okay. Okay, so it will be the mounted this time. So now Alexander orders his horse over the whole line to advance. It's time. So we're gonna enter the river now with our horse. So we go there, we go there, we go there with Alexander, and we go also there. So time for some battle. Alexander will attack here. Those guys will of course try to evade, but Alexander will get 4 dice. No, sorry, he'll get 2 dice, but I think Alexander will increase it to 3 dice anyway, even though they are on the river. So let's see, we're looking for green. Yeah, we got 1. So 1 of the lights down, and the other 2 evades to the new main line here. So these guys cannot do anything, but we are happy we are on the river now. Here we will attack these guys, and now's the question, should we stand our ground? Do we dare to do that? No, I will actually evade, because these are bow units, so even if I would evade 2 hexes, I can fire. I have them in my range next time, so I will try to evade, but we're gonna roll. No hits. We got away nicely there. Here though, I'm actually gonna stand my ground, so I'm gonna take that fight with the light cavalry of the Macedonians. Okay, they hit us with 1. Let's see if we can retaliate. Yeah, we did. So that was an exchange there, and I think I'm happy with that as a Scythian, because now I have actually 2 bow units in range against those guys. I mean, they are really vulnerable for hits and flags there. Nice. And that's it. But as you can see, pretty much the whole Macedonian army are approaching the river, or they are on the river already. No one over the river yet, but next turn some of them will be, I'm sure of that. Okay, so we have... this is a bad card for the Scythians. If you have no foot units, okay, this is basically 1 unit of my choice then. But what I would like to do is activate over here, because I want to fire away here now. So I'll play the 3 units right, or maybe I should play the other light now, because I have more guys in my side here. Yeah, let's play the other light instead. So I can order 5 light units. So it's 1, it's 2, 3, 4, and let's take that guy too. And I will this time not do any movement at all, because I'm hoping to get that guy away with some bowfire, and then I can throw some javelins on the medium heavies there. That's my plan, or perhaps the Cretans. So let's start over here, and I will start with this bow unit, and they will fire against that light cavalry. They are supported, I know that, but I hope I can force them away anyway. Nope, that was a miss. Let's put the second bow fire on those guys. A flag, they can ignore that, but no hits. This time I was hoping for hits actually, but we didn't get those. But I will take my chances to attack again in close combat, so I'm hoping for a green now. No, a flag, they ignore that, so the Macedonians will retaliate. and they got the flag on us, which we need to take. So they forced us back from the river here now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that was not according to plan. I was actually hoping to get this unit this turn and get the third banner. That would have been nice, but that did not happen. But we are not done yet. We will fire from here as well, and we need to force them back from the river. That's the primary target now, those unsupported guys on the river. So this bow unit will attack the light cavalry here, and it's the flags I'm looking for. And I got it, and this has an optimal result. First one hit, one down, and then we force them to retreat. 1, 2, 3, and they can't retreat the 4th hex, so they actually take another loss there. So that was a awesome result. Here, okay, we have no chance to get those guys over the river. I mean, they can ignore 2 flags, so nope. But these guys we could force across the river with a good bow volley here. So let's see. No, we missed them completely. So those guys stay on the river. Well, some good and some bad things here happen. So that was good. This flank was really bad. We have no resistance over here, and they can be on us now. So, well, all in all, some good, some bad results there, but even though we are in a lead of 2-0, I'm a bit afraid of what the Macedonians can do now. But I'm gonna end the session here actually and continue next time. Thank you for watching, and I hope you will be back to follow how Alexander can pull this through, or if what's the name of the guy again? Jaxartes, that guy, the Scythian general, alone left on the riverbanks. All the other cavalry had retreated to the new baseline here, or the new defense line here, I would say. But those guys, they are noble cavalry, they don't back off that easily. But we'll see what happens with those guys next turn. So, again, thanks for watching, and see you again. Bye-bye.